Good morning, Year 1, and welcome to Day 6 of our work on addition and subtraction. Today we're going to be doing two things. In our arithmetic starter, we're going to be looking at some of the newer maths we've been doing and showing you exactly how you can do it. And then in the main part of the lesson, we're going to be building on the commutative law work that we started on Friday. Okay, so get whiteboards and whiteboard pens and anything else you need ready, and we'll get started. Okay, so in the last couple of arithmetic tests, these kind of calculations have started cropping up. Now, I've hinted about how you could do them, but today I'm going to show you how to do a couple of them, and then you can have a go. Now, you can do them either using tens and ones here, or perhaps more economically, so quicker, you can use the 100 square. Now, I've extended it only up to 60 because there's no sums that go higher than that today. So, do the first one in the expected, this one here, using tens and ones, and then I'm going to show you how you could do the first one in the secure using the number grid. Okay, so here we go. 4 plus 10. So what we would do is we count out 1, 2, 3, 4 ones, and then we count, and we're adding 10 to it, so we add 1 10 to it, so that is 4 14, and then we'd add another 10 to it, and if we needed to, we could count them 1 2 3 4 14 24, or 10 20 21 22 23 24. It's up to you which way you would do it. Now, if we were to be doing the same on the number square, because I'll show you the same calculation first, we would start with 4, place that there, and then we count on 10. Now we know by now that when we count on 10, we drop down, so that's 10, and that's 20. So we've added to 4, 10, 20, so the answer again is 24. Now, if we were to look at this next one here, which starts on the 14, this one here we're now doing, add 10, we drop down 10. What do you think we need to drop down if we're adding 20? That's right, it's 10 plus 10, so we drop down 10, drop down 20, and that will give us the answer to that one. Okay, so have a go now, either using number squares, or if you've got them, or if you've got access to the app that represents them, the tens and ones equipment. And when you're ready, we'll go through the answers. Okay, welcome back. I'm going to model a few of these just to help you see what we're doing. So the first one, it starts at 4, and we add 10, so it drops to 14. This next one starts at 5. We're adding on 10, we drop down, so that becomes 15. This next one starts at 12. Add 10, goes down to 22. So you can see already how probably the number square is the quicker way of doing this, because otherwise you'd be counting out lots of equipment. But let's just do the next one using the equipment. So we can get rid of those. And we count out 2. 1, 2. Count out a 10. Count out a 10. And then we would probably count the 10s first. So it's 10, 20, 21, 22. Okay, so we're going to do a couple more of these modeling, and then we're going to go through the answers for the rest. So we've got 4, adding 10 and 10. So that's 10, 20 added, 10 and 10 added. So that's going to be 24. 5 works exactly the same. Add 10, add another 10, that's 25. So by now you can probably tell the next one's going to be 32, and the next one is going to be 35. Now we've already modelled this, so that's 14 plus 10 plus 20 equals 44. But we'll do the next one just to remind you how we do a jump of 20. So we start on 15, we're adding 20, 10, 20, and then we add another 10, and that gives us 45. Then they turn around, it doesn't really matter. We're doing 12, adding 20 takes us to 32, adding another 20 takes us to 52. 15, add 10 takes us to 25, add another 30 takes us to 55. And then what we're thinking about is what we add to 4. So we're adding 20, that takes us to 24. So now what do we need to add to 24 to get to 34? That's right, we're going to add another 10. And you would do that eventually. So that's 10. And then 5 plus 10 makes 15. We need to add another 20. 12 plus 10 makes 22, add another 20. And this last one, which just turned around, 45 plus 10. Okay, brilliant work. And that's how you do these ones that crop up on the Friday arithmetic test. Okay, so as we were doing last week, we are now going to be looking at using the commutative law to find subtraction and addition sentences. This time we're going to do it using part whole. Some of them are numbers just up to 20, some are a little bit further on. So let's have a quick look at how we can do this. So just a quick revision. How could we represent this using the array? Excellent, we could put 3 into one part of the array and then use the other colour or leave it blank, it's up to you. Just show the other part. Right, and then we need to think about what number sentences we could use for finding this information. So have a go at writing down all the different number sentences you can think of. Remember, addition and subtraction we're aiming at. So we know it's going to be 3 plus 7 equals 10. That's the simplest one. And then 7 plus 3 equals 10. You also could have the 10 equals 3 plus 7 and the 10 equals 7 plus 3. Now these are useful because we can then base our subtraction on them. So if we start with 10 and we're taking away the 3 green, we've got 7 blue left. And if we start here, we've got 10, taking away the 7 blue, and we've got 3 left. And then you could turn those around if you wanted to. 7 equals 10 minus 3, and 3 equals 10 minus 7. But those are probably the least important of these. So what your challenge is to write as many different number sentences as you can based on each of the part wholes. Now in class, we're going to be using and making sure our digits are in the squares. They've shifted slightly. So, for example, this one I would be writing, and I'm going to show you it because I want you to see how I want it laid out. We would have 6 plus 4 equals 10. Now the 10 has to go in 2 boxes because of 1 digit in each. Okay, like we practice in handwriting. You'd have 4 plus 6 equals 10. And if you wanted to now, you could start your subtractions. 10 minus 6 equals 4. So it takes up the same amount of space, but it's laid out differently. And then the last one would be 10 minus 4 equals, the missing number is 6. So those are the 4 you need to do. If you can do more by switching them around, you could do 6 or 8, that's absolutely fine. But you're not going to be able to find more than 8 of these commutative sums. Okay, so here are the ones I want you to have a go at. If you fancy a challenge, do this side and then make up your own. If you think, I want to pace myself today, do these first 3. And then if you fancy a bit of a challenge, have a go at these. So you should be able to do a minimum of 4 sums, 2 addition and 2 subtraction for each one of these. And in class, we're going to be writing them in the squares next to it. Okay, And that is the end of the task, but we have a plenary to finish with. So pause the video now, and when you're ready, we'll go on to the plenary. Okay, welcome back. So the plenary is using this information. What other sums can you produce? 6 plus 2 equals 8. Think of all the different sums we can produce. So we could have 2 plus 6 equals 8. We also could have 8, biggest number, take away 2 equals 6. And we could have 8 minus 6 equals 2. Now, if we were to represent these using dots like we did at the start of last week, you'd have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 2, sorry, losing the plot here, plus 2 equals 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, we could also represent this in a similar way. So we've got 60 plus 2 equals, sorry, 60 plus 20 equals 80. So we could represent that with 10 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6 plus 2 equals how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, what do you notice? Can you see a link? And can you use that link to predict what the other ones are? Give you a few seconds to have a go, and then I'm going to show you what the rest of the commutative law is here. Okay, so we've got 20 plus 60 equals 80. Can you see the link between this one and this one? So the next one is going to be 80 minus 60 equals 20. And then our last one is going to be 80 minus 20 equals 60. So the similarities are, well, where you've got a 1 cube here, you've got a 10 bar here, so it's 10 times bigger, but it's still representing the same way. And that is how you can apply a 6 plus 2 equals 8 to make 60 plus 20 equals 80 by changing your 1 cubes to 10 bars, which makes them 10 times bigger. Okay, and that is the end of today's maths lesson. You've been fabulous.